Unfortunately, we gotta start somewhere, y'all.
It's been started. Paul Martin said he had a dream in the 60s.
Yeah, I know.
And we will not stop until we get what is fair and equal. Equity.
Hello all, and welcome to another episode of Between Sisters. I am here with my chicks, my dudes, my road dogs, my ones. Keish, Chaya, Shana Dawn, and EBE. I'm Chaya, your host, and today is a special episode. I don't know if you can see, I got my door knockers on, I got my old school hip hop t-shirt on because I'm ready to talk about this subject. Subject is Ice Cube and the CWBA. So he has been getting railroaded by social media, Black Twitter, everybody and their mother, political commentators, activists, everybody, because he came up with a contract for with Black America that he submitted to the Democrats and the Republicans. And up until right now, I don't know who he consulted with for this contract, but he ain't getting a lot of applause for his efforts. So the contract with Black America is something that he's been working on this year, and he submitted it to the Trump administration and to Biden's administration. And what the contract is, it would increase capital by almost $500 billion in Black communities, create 3 million new jobs, provide more affordable health care, improve access to better education and job opportunities, designate Juneteenth as a national holiday, and other promises that have not happened in the past 4 years.
Lending, Black lending reform.
Lending, right.
Police reform.
Right.
Keep going.
Prison reform.
Criminal justice, right. I was just about to say criminal justice reform. I think the thing with this is, why wait until we are a month out?
Less than a month.
Right. To start this, when I feel that this should have been started way back when there were 30 candidates for
running for president.
For Democrat. So I just feel like it's a little too much, too little, too late. You know, I just feel like it's too late now.
Well, not even
started.
Well, not even then. When we did realize that Joe Biden would be the nominee for the Democratic Party for the ticket to run for president, it could have been done then.
Started then.
You create something in August.
Right.
When you create something in August, which is what, just shy of 3 months before it's time for election day. And to even go further, who exactly did you work with? Who did you speak to? Who were the other people putting into this contract when you created this contract? And are you the voice for all of us?
Right.
You know, when you put that message out there that you're holding the vote until someone signs this contract, bad messaging. But I won't get into this now, but it goes back to when you are in the position, when you have a platform and you use your platform, two things can happen. You can use your platform to do good or destroy.
Right.
The problem with that is when you're saying to people that, you know, I'm not voting for somebody who's making all of these promises. Well, that's what all politicians do.
They all make promises.
All politicians make promises. That's just a part of the game. Can everything be done? No. Can a president do everything? No.
No.
You have to understand what the president can actually do before you say what you're going to hold back because of X, Y, and Z. You know, we don't want 4 more years of Trump. So you're saying because y'all don't want 4 more years of Trump, I have to vote for Biden Harris? Well, I don't want 4 more years of Trump, and I can tell you why. 4 more years of Trump may be beneficial to Ice Cube. 4 more years of Trump isn't beneficial to me. My net worth and Ice Cube's net worth are not
totally
the same
different
net worth.
spectrums.
And if, okay, all of these things for the Black community, okay, you know, you don't want promises, you want things to be done, okay, you're in a position to do more. You're in a position to do a lot of things. And we know a lot of times people are pumping things into the community and they're not very vocal about it, but you're in a different position. So when you put that messaging out there that you're holding this vote until this contract is signed, and then you're out there saying that you reached out to the Biden party and they said that they would review and go through this after the election. However, Donald Trump reached out to you, the Trump administration reached out to you, and you know they made amendments to, you know, things that were plans that they have. And I can tell you anything right now because I know you have a platform, and I know that you can get people who may be like this. And because you now say that Donald Trump administration reached out to you and they made concessions within your contract, and they say that they're going to put $5 billion into something, and I'm not sure if I quoted the right number, either 500 or $5 billion.
It's 500.
500 billion into all of this reform. I can tell you anything. I'm running for freaking office right now. It's 20-something days before election day. I want your vote. And
Right.
I know that when you go out there and pass the messaging on, now I may get Ice Cube to convince a lot of those people to now give me their vote.
Right. So I did some research and I searched on Trump's website and Biden's website. If you have never seen Trump's website, it is like a love letter to himself. It's like, it is, I was just like, I don't see like concrete things or a plan. Like, it's just a love letter to Trump. But
He might as well be there with the Last Supper picture.
Yeah,
He might as well be Jesus in the Last
like
Supper
everyone
picture.
just loving on him. I was just like, oh, okay. But I did see the Biden plan. And a lot of the things that Cube has asked for is in the Biden plan
already.
Yeah. So I could sort of understand like why he said, I'll wait
after the election,
because it's like a long drawn out plan. So I just didn't understand like who he spoke to, and because it just seems as if it's the same thing in Biden's plan.
But isn't this something that I think we all, and I think we stated in every meeting that we have, people don't educate themselves. If you take the time out to seek the information, go through stuff, review things, then it would be, well, hey, this is a lot of what I'm looking for and what I think we need as a community. You know, and I went through the Biden site and I saw that, oh my God, a lot of what I think that we need mirrors a lot of what you say that you want to do. Can we create coalitions to include the people that we can make sure that a lot of these things are implemented and they do happen?
Right.
That's how you hold somebody to what they put out there. Because if it's there, then I'm going to make you accountable, because now you're meeting a lot of my demand. So now we need to hold you accountable to this, because look, this is what we want. And you're saying that this is what you're going to give us. So now how do we go and how do we get you to now get this done? If you're going to advocate in that form to then work to say, well, look, this mirrors a lot of what your plan is, and this is what we want. And as someone who wants my vote, what can you guarantee me up against these two pieces of paper right now? To say that the Trump administration reached out to you and they said that they're going to do this and they're going to do that. Okay, but what other information do you know about the Trump administration? Donald Trump has put out in 2016 so much of what he was going to do, and what have we really seen executed? We still hear him saying that he got a plan for in place of Obamacare. What the hell is the plan? He still could not tell us the plan at the debate. We're still, what is the plan? We do know that on November 10th, though, it goes before the Supreme Court to abolish the ACA.
Yeah.
So what is the plan? Because now if you're looking to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, then what will be in place for so many people that don't have insurance now?
Right now.
What's happening to the people that are getting laid off due to COVID, who cannot find a job right now to now supplement the health insurance that they're losing from their previous employer, who cannot afford to extend their benefits through COBRA? What will be out there for now? Because Republicans always put out there that they don't want aid. It's not about aid. So you're telling these people that they're not eligible for Medicaid. So what will be in place for these people? So again, these are the things you have to think about when you say somebody had a conversation and they made all of these amendments that they're going to add. What the hell is a conversation? Donald Trump had a conversation, it was in 2016.
He had a few conversations. He's had a few conversations.
What do we have to lose? What do we have to lose as the blacks?
And I'll say this, I'm not contradicting myself, because there is a lot of things that a president cannot do. However, the majority of Congress is what? Republican.
Yeah.
White and Republican.
So if Donald Trump,
white male and Republican,
if Donald Trump brings forth to his party all of these great things, initiatives that we need to happen for the people, and I'm not only talking about black people, because I tell y'all all the time, majority of the stuff is not a black and white thing, it's a class thing. So what are you gonna do for the people? You have the Republicans that you can sway already on your side. When you got Mitch McConnell saying the reason why Obama could not put in 2 Supreme Court justices because he made sure that did not happen. Mitch McConnell would definitely do what the hell Donald Trump wants him to do.
Yep.
Lindsey Graham will do what Donald Trump wants him to do, because for them, it ain't about the people, it's about their party.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick. I'm gonna play devil's advocate, because first of all, we all know if Trump wins, he's gonna be 10 times worse than he is now. Okay, so I kind of like, I don't condone everything that Ice Cube did, and I know it should have been a little earlier, but if he wins, I'm not banking on it. I'm praying. I'm voting for Biden. I'm voting for Kamala. But if Trump wins for a second term, don't no black person better come in his face and say, this is what I want, because then it's too late, because he already has 4 more years of his time that he could do whatever he want to do. So you could come to me in my office and tell me what you want me to do. I'm president for another 4 years. I ain't got to do ish for you. So indirectly, I better catch you before you get another 4 terms, just in case.
Keisha, Donald Trump believes that he's done the most for the blacks out of any other administration.
Yes, but you know what though, Keish? You know what? The problem is, since Martin Luther King, there's been too many freaking marches and no resolution. And the sad part is, okay, yeah, it's the way how Cube did it, it could have been a little more classier. But how many marches were there this year? And what leader stepped up to the plate and said, this is what the plan is now? We done did all the marching. This is what the plan is.
But the thing is, we as black people are not in power.
Yeah.
So at least with Biden, he said he'd have a black vice president. He would appoint a black woman to courts. He would have a cabinet that's diverse. So is it the thing with Trump that he could get these 4 years, but still won't be in power?
Okay, so and I understand when you're talking, and that's been a problem for years. Mm-hmm. We haven't had, up until Obama, we really didn't have that many powerful Black people. We've had like mayors and senators here and there, but the problem is we, like how you said, the power part of it is the community should be able to come to the table and say, okay, this is what we want, and that's been a problem for years.
True.
So if Trump is in office again, what's Plan B for us? What's Plan B? Are we going to keep marching?
But what do you mean? But what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? So what has Trump done for you? Because he made a way so that everybody could get an extra $1 in their paycheck.
No, okay. No. What I'm trying to say is if Trump is in office again, we've been doing all these marches, but we never had a game plan like, okay, all right, we marched. We need some representatives that now that we march, we have Black Lives Matter, but has Black Lives Matter had the opportunity to sit on a table with Trump and say, this is what we want?
Well, there have been folks who have sat.
Like I seen John Gray sit there with him, but nothing's happened.
A publicity thing.
Yeah, no one's come to Trump. No one's come to Trump with a game plan. No one's come to him with a.
Let me say this. Ice Cube. Let me first applaud him and commend him for taking the initiative.
Yes.
Because it has been other people that have been trying to do things like I was talking about with T.I. before with the Lloyds of London, ones, so there have been other people that have been attempting to, not just from the government, but from all of the companies that have benefited from foundational Black Americans and slavery. And this is worldwide, so many countries, well, basically all the countries have benefited from slavery. So because of that, I applaud him. Mm-hmm. But and so I don't want it to seem like, oh, we tearing down our own because he didn't do things one way we wanted to do. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: because of the fact that you have like the Tamika Mallory's, the My Son, the General, the Bakari Sellers, the Killer Mikes, the T.I.s, the Nick Cannon, the people that have been on the front lines and that have been advocating for change. Did you galvanize these people? And I'm not saying that these people are the Black representatives, because right now we don't have that type of representation. You got the Jamal Bryants, Jesse Jacksons, the Al Sharptons that have been, and they marched to the Capitol. So I'm sure that things were in the works. I'm sure of it.
And things have happened. We can't act as if there hasn't been changes that haven't been made over the years. We know Jesse Jackson has done. We know, as much as people want to talk about Al Sharpton, these people have done, and things have. The needle has moved. The needle hasn't moved all the way, but the needle has moved. But again, I don't know if anybody saying anything to 45 on our behalf really makes a difference. I'm just totally being honest with you. So catching him now or catching him a year later, honestly and truthfully,
he will do what he wanted to.
Does not make a difference to that man. He has proven that to us.
But we got to do something.
No, yes, something has to be done. That we all agree on. That we all agree on.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't care if it's a little something or big something. Something's got to be done. So
I care whether it's a little something or a big something.
Okay,
what I'm saying is, too much little somethings. It has to be something substantial right now.
Substantial.
Yeah. So but the way I feel when it comes to Ice Cube, and I was talking to Cho about this, and y'all probably going to disagree with me, but that's why I wore my old school hip hop shirt, because Ice Cube, in my opinion, represents what we right now, all of the big, those higher ups that have the power to pull the strings in the media and all that stuff that benefit from Black bodies, Ice Cube and his group, NWA, were the beginning of gangster rap.
Mm-hmm.
Before then, we had the KRS, we had the X-Clan, you know, we had the Kid and Play, come on, baby, you know, we had all of that.
We had Public Enemy.
Yeah, Public Enemy. We had conscious rappers, we had fun rappers, we had rappers that was battling. But we didn't have bitches ain't ish but hoes and tricks. We didn't have men degrading women. We didn't have you talking about what you're going to do to another dude like that.
But not only that, but bigger than anything. And when we saw Bakari Sellers tweet, and he said it, far cry from NWA, because what happened to F the police and being about that? You understand what I'm saying? You're now telling us that this man administration reached out to you and they're going to do these things. I get it. You have police reform and all of these things in your plan. Yes, because we do need it. But again, you're talking about the law and order freaking president.
But with Ice Cube, he started an entire movement, an entire culture of violence.
Mm.
He started it. Their group started it.
But at a net worth of 160 million that's put out there now, years later.
So now you started this train for us to now, because before then we was doing a Kid and Play, and all that other good stuff and fighting the power. But then you started calling us bitches, right? Mm-hmm. But then you made your move and you started doing Friday and barbershop, and you started getting the limelight and the proceeds from being a movie star, and now you've changed your whole demographic. You changed your whole lifestyle behind a movement that you started but then left. So now all of the hip-hop artists that have come, because hip-hop is our culture.
Right.
That's our culture. That's what we made in America.
Right.
Right? That we don't own. So that should have been one of your things on it. Hey, how about any import, export hip-hop? We own it. How about that? But he started a whole movement of violence and degrading your own people. Let's call it like it is. And then now you're like, oh, well, we're going to create a contract to kind of turn around the things that you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand where you're coming from, and you know what? I'm not going to say the person's name, but I had a conversation with a man one day. And I feel like this man can be a little more nurturing to the other men in the family that are younger. Mm-hmm. And I said to this man, I said, just because you did dirt back in the day, don't mean that you cannot school the younger ones that's coming up and tell them where you went wrong.
Right.
And I think that's a problem where a lot of people feel like, oh, how you gonna come to me about hoeing when you used to be a hoe?
That's not what I'm saying.
That's not what it is. That's not what the argument is. That's not what the argument is.
Because somebody has to do what Ice Cube is doing. Somebody. I don't care who it is.
And that's why I started off by saying I applaud him for what he did. I'm sorry, Cho.
Like I had said to a young lady one day, very, very pretty young lady. And I said to her, God don't give those kind of looks to everybody. So because you got that look, you need to utilize it for goodness. I say that to say Ice Cube is at a level where he can talk to them. You and I can't go to them and talk to them, but he's developed a resume where he can go talk to them.
Okay.
But did Trump speak? I
don't think Trump spoke directly.
Because he says that yes, that we're the American, like let's be one, or is he speaking for our vote?
He's speaking for our vote. He's speaking for our vote. But you know what it is with politics? Everybody's speaking to the only time they F with the Black community is for the vote. And then they leave us. And then we go ahead and march.
That's something that I think as of 2020, that's going to cease. Because our eyes are so open now, and we're so galvanized about change we can't go back to, oh, we just gonna come to your church and say, tell your pastor to tell you to vote for us, when it's election time. I don't think that we'll ever go back to that after Trump being president.
Let me ask you a question though, real talk. Hold on, Keisha, real talk. And like I said, I'm not banking on Trump winning, but we gotta look at all sides.
Oh yeah.
If Trump wins again, what kind of change you think gonna happen?
No change that will be beneficial to us.
I don't think
somebody got to step to the table and say, enough. Let's get this done.
Keisha, Donald
Trump to the table and actually getting something done under Trump's administration.
It's two different things. It is.
Like he pardoned the dude at the RNC for optics. It had nothing to do with him wanting to do the right thing.
He naturalized somebody at the and naturalized several people at the RNC to try to show these people of those backgrounds that, look, see, I made them Americans now. It was all just for the bells and whistles at the moment to get the vote. What I'm saying to you is, his rhetoric is still out there about building the wall to keep the Mexicans out.
Mm-hmm.
So what he did is contradictory to what he still spews. So what I'm saying to you is, what will happen under another Trump administration is the same thing that's happening now. Nothing that's going to be beneficial to any of us.
So
I don't care who sits down with Donald Trump right now to represent us. It doesn't make a difference.
So you're saying that if Trump wins again, we'll be doing a whole bunch of marching like we've been, and nothing's gonna get done.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, if Trump wins again, one thing I'm hoping for is that we turn the Senate.
The Senate.
That's one thing that I'm hoping for, and it seems like that may happen. It seems like that may happen.
On track to do
so, the same way that there were the Republicans after the midterm elections with Obama that literally blocked everything that he tried to do.
They sure did.
I believe that that's the same thing that would happen with the House. With the House and the Senate, if we turn over, hopefully, this election. But at this point, trying to go to Donald Trump, one thing, when I had told y'all yesterday to turn to CNN with the girl that had wrote the book about Melania, Melania and me, she said something. She was just like, Melania is just like Donald. She was just like, people think that she was like, no, she's just as ruthless as Donald is. So the two of them as husband and wife, two can't walk together except they agree, even though if they walking, on different sides of the road, they still married. So that brother, he don't care nothing about anything that happens to us.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that happened to the poor white people. Ice Cube, Diddy, who else? Will Smith, all of them is in that bracket that they could have tea and crumpets, on the veranda at any day. We ain't in that demographic yet, right? So until that happens, we have to now work with our local representatives to push change.
Right.
Until that happens, we have to work with our local local elected officials and still do the work with the people that have been on the front lines. Like I don't want it to be like the thing with Ice Cube to be like a Kim Kardashian.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people been on doing
on the front lines for a long time.
And then here she comes in her nice black suit.
The savior.
And now
right. And then Alice is released from prison. But can I just say one thing?
Why she act like she in class every age?
Because I can't repeat this. And I think I'm gonna say this until I'm blue in the face. You do know that your local elections are important.
They sure are.
Remember, you vote these people in.
Mm-hmm.
So don't tell me about what ain't happening in your community because these people ain't doing. You know why
some people only vote for the president.
Can I finish? You can't say that the politicians come to your church and they're only doing it during election year. And you know why? Because we don't make them work the way we are supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
We put them in that office to work for us, but we don't make them work for us. Don't you see that that is part of the problem? And I can't stress this enough to people. Your district attorney gets in because that man is voted in. Your judges get in because y'all these people are you vote for your senator. You vote for your borough president. Are you going to them when you have issues? Are y'all writing letters to these people? Are you calling their offices to make sure that things are happening in your neighborhood? No, a lot of us are not doing that, but we're complaining that we only see these people at this time. That's our fault. They work for us.
That's why I said I don't think that we'll go back to that after 2020. Like, if you go back to the regular life as usual,
you can't complain. You can't complain. You cannot complain. And I tell everybody that, oh, well, you know, y'all see what Trump doing. I don't want to hear, because if you didn't take your ass out there and vote, keep your mouth shut. Because you're part of the problem. You have a voice. We all have a voice, and we need to let our voice be heard. If you have, I can tell you, I think I've shared this with y'all before, how people will call the borough president's office will call down to the office, and next thing you know, you see people coming, and I'm handing them food stamps, I'm handing them checks, because they use their elected officials to help them get what they needed. Yep. And a lot of those people that I dealt with did not look like any of us on this screen. So it's shame on us, okay? We complain about stuff not happening for us, but we have to make sure that we hold these people accountable to what they promise us.
Yep, I agree.
No, you're honestly right.
I just think that Q should have spoken to a few other people.
Well, we don't know who he spoke to.
We don't know who he spoke to.
We don't know who he spoke to.
I saw a thing.
And we all know as sisters that even trying to get us together to do something.
He talked to Tamika.
It takes like, come on, like, when you're available, like, can we discuss this? I got something I want to talk. So he might have tried to reach out to certain people. We don't know.
Yeah. We don't know.
Because a lot of people, are fluff. So maybe he's like, you know what, I'm gonna take this on my lap, and
he took it upon himself to go forward and do whatever he did. You know, and like I said, I applaud him for it. But you know what he asked for, they're a great thing. It's a start,
right?
You know. But I believe that when it comes to foundational Black Americans and descendants of slaves in this country, it needs to be addressed a little different. You know what I mean? Because like we have too much that we have had to endure throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? And that our ancestors have not gotten their just due. You know? So because of all of that, there needs to be, it can't be like a little notch on a Richter scale. It got to be like a 8.0 earthquake. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, we got to start somewhere, though.
It's been started. Martin said he had a dream in the 60s.
Yeah, I know. You know what's funny with me? For years, when I used to see the marches on TV, I would sit there like, and why are we doing this?
Me too.
Why are we? Because there's nothing is, even the Million Man March. And I sat there and listened to the whole speeches, and I'd be like, yeah. How many times you been to a family event in Christmas time or the holidays, and then now everybody sit down and start talking politics and talk about what the Black community needs to do? I'm like, yeah. Because I've been hearing it for years.
Well, I had a father that was active, and my mother-in-law was way active. So, I mean, I was just around too many people who attitude was so different that I understand why. Even if it didn't register when I was younger. As I got older, it registered the importance of that. You just don't ever stop.
Mm-hmm.
You never stop fighting for what you believe.
Oh yeah, you don't
And you
stop.
never stop.
But we need change now.
So if we have to continue marching until the end of time, then
Oh no, I agree with you, Keish. But now we need people like LeBron. I applaud LeBron because Michael Jordan didn't do that.
Michael Jordan still ain't doing that.
Huh?
Michael Jordan still ain't doing that, and he ain't gonna do it no more.
he just did something recently.
He donated to Black Lives Matter.
Right. But wait,
I applaud people like LeBron
because
because LeBron is stepping up to the plate no matter what. People told him just shut up and dribble. That's been the mentality of the other cultures with us.
Right.
They entertain us.
Right.
Entertainers since Josephine Baker.
Yeah.
Beyonce's a modern day Josephine Baker. How about that?
But you do know that Josephine Baker did a lot of things as well.
She did. She sure did.
She didn't just dance.
No, I know that. I
Yeah,
know.
but you understand what I'm saying?
You know, I understand what you're saying. I understand you say, but you know what bothers me? I think what bothers me personally is that I make over $100,000 a year, and I still got to see black men getting killed by cops.
Okay, well.
And that issue was happening from Josephine Baker days, from Martin Luther King days, from all decades.
But Keisha,
and it's been many marches. The only thing that benefited us through these marches is that we make a little bit more money.
But
Keisha, I can't go live in their neighborhoods.
But Keisha, here's the thing, and this is why you have to understand that we really need to pay attention to a lot of the things and a lot of what people are doing, because it's not about, and Chaya, we had the conversation yesterday, and we said it, and then we read it after we said it. It ain't about the dollar, huh?
Bars.
It's not about the dollar. It's about equity. We have always been fighting for equity, what is fair and equal, and we will not stop until we get what is fair and equal, equity. And I'm going to tell you, when we have to lie about our home address so that our kids can go to a school in a better neighborhood, that's bullshit, because that shouldn't have to happen. When you have children sharing the same school building, but they have two different schools in that one building, and one side of the school caters to the kids that live in the zone, and the other side caters to the kids who parents can drop them off with a chauffeur driver in the same building, when those kids don't eat lunch at the same schedule because they don't want them co-mingling. We're teaching children classism at a very early age. We want what's fair and equal. That should not happen. We should not have to see the kids who pull up in a Mercedes Benz get better books and better equipment, better computers and better technology than the kids who is zoned to that school. That should not happen. That is not fair and equal.
Let me tell you something. With all of that you're saying, we've been saying that for years.
But,
wait. It took for God to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to give a pandemic and I'm going to give you George Floyd. Why did it take? No. Listen to what I'm saying. We've been, all that you're saying, black people have been saying that for years.
Years, right.
We've been marching for years. Look how many other cultures stood with us this year alone. I told you, marching only have 2 black people in the crowd and have bandanas saying Black Lives Matter. That would never had happened up until March of 2020. So I say that to say, yes, and I know God got us. God got us. But my whole thing is, it took up until this point. For all that you're saying, we've been saying, I've been hearing that since I was in the 70s. I've been hearing the same thing, the same speech you're saying. I heard that when I was born in the 70s.
Right.
So now they're waking up and saying, oh wow, you black people really don't have what we have.
Right. But Keisha, you do know that there comes a time when the tides change.
Well, yeah, and that's where we at right now.
So guess what? People are now realizing that equity doesn't truly exist for us.
Don't miss the next episode of Between Sisters, Hot Topics Edition. Make sure to subscribe and click that notification button.